What if I told you that the CIA once overthrew a democratic government? Not in Latin America, not in Africa, but in the Middle East. And what followed still haunts global politics today. Let's go back to Iran. The year was 1951. A proud, stubborn man named Mohammad Mossadegh had just been elected prime minister. He wasn't a dictator. He wasn't backed by the military. He was chosen by the people because he made a bold promise to take back Iran's oil. You see, for decades, Britain controlled Iran's oil industry through what would become BP, British Petroleum. They took most of the profit, left the Iranian people in poverty. Mossadegh said, "No more." He nationalized the oil. Overnight, he became a national hero in Iran and public enemy number one in London. Britain was furious, but they couldn't invade, so they turned to America. At first, President Truman said no, but when Eisenhower took office, during the early Cold War, that changed. US officials feared Iran might tilt toward the Soviet Union, and so the CIA launched a secret mission, Operation Ajax. Now this is where the story gets wild. The CIA didn't send tanks or planes. They sent money, newspapers, and street thugs. They paid Iranian journalists to publish fake news, claiming Mossadegh was a communist. They bribed generals, politicians, and clerics. And they even hired mobs to riot in the streets, just to create chaos. It was one of the CIA's first major covert operations. And at first, it failed. Mossadegh found out. The Shah of Iran, who was supposed to remove him, panicked and fled the country. The coup collapsed. It looked like democracy had won. But then came a twist no one expected. A powerful cleric, Ayatollah Kashani, once an ally of Mossadegh, suddenly turned against him. Religious leaders began accusing Mossadegh of being anti-Islam, anti-monarchy, and a threat to tradition. The same groups that once supported him now rallied against him. With their help, the CIA tried again. This time it worked. Mossadegh was arrested. The Shah returned in triumph, and Iran's brief experiment with democracy was over. By the way, if you're finding this story shocking and you want to know even more, you have to check out a book called All the Shah's Men by Stephen Kinzer. It's like a real-life political thriller, but everything is true. I've dropped the link in the description below, definitely worth a read. Now, before I tell you the final twist of this story, take a second to hit the subscribe button if you're into these hidden global stories. And let me know in the comments, do you think foreign interference like this can ever be justified? Okay, here's how it all came full circle. The US got what it wanted, access to oil and an obedient Shah. But the Shah ruled with an iron fist. He jailed opponents, tortured dissidents, crushed protests, and the people never forgot. In 1979, a massive revolution erupted. The Shah was overthrown. A radical cleric, Ayatollah Khomeini, took power, and the new Islamic Republic turned fiercely against the US. That same year, 52 Americans were taken hostage at the US Embassy in Tehran, a crisis that lasted 444 days. So yes, the US removed one leader to avoid a potential Soviet ally, and ended up helping to create one of its most long-term enemies. History has a funny way of biting back.